Namaste everyone. Welcome to our very first storytelling session. Very soon we'll be celebrating Diwali, and I know that you all also know why do we celebrate Diwali? We celebrate Diwali to welcome Shravan. He came back from his exile. Actually, I also celebrated Diwali last year, but then I started to think why Ramji had to go on exile when he was the Lord of whole world. He had all the pleasures in his hand and he was a god. But still, he had to go and live in the forest. He had to live a very difficult life. Then I decided to dig into the history, and that's what I did. Over there, I found out about a boy called Shravan Kumar. Shravan Kumar was a very young boy. He was very obedient to his parents and used to do all the chores of the house. The reason was, one, he was very good boy, and second, his parents couldn't see. They were blind. And Shravan Kumar was the only son, so he was doing everything possible to make his parents' life comfortable. One night, Shravan Kumar's parents, they started to talk with each other. The lady said, I want to go to see Kailash Parvat. It is very high up. It's the pilgrimage which each Hindu must do. I also want to do the pilgrimage. The father said, Oh lady, don't you know that we can't see? How are we going to cross so many high mountains, so big forests? There will be snakes, lions, leopard, ponds, everything will be there, and we couldn't do that. And they were discussing, and Shravan Kumar's mum became really sad that just because she is blind, she cannot go for pilgrimage. Shravan Kumar was listening everything in his bed, and he started to think, oh dear me, my parents want to go to pilgrimage and they cannot go because they can't see. I must do something about it. He kept on thinking, and then he had a plan. He got a basket like this one, and he got a big strong stick to hold the basket on. And then he designed something like this. He could carry his parents on both the basket, and the basket could be carried on his shoulder. He did this thinking and designed the plan. And then days, there was no cars, no bus, no scooter, no aeroplanes where you can easily fly and reach. It was long walk and long journey. And he had to carry his parents very heavily. But he made up his mind and he said, whatever my parents wish, I will do that. And then his parents sat on the basket and they started their journey to mountains. They went through the lakes, went through the forest, on the top of the mountain, down the mountain, and then he came near a lake. When he came near a lake, he started to wash feet of his parents. By washing feet, you feel less tired. And then he washed hands and face and everything of his parents, and then they decided to continue with their journey. The sun was shining bright, and Shravan Kumar's parents started to feel thirsty. He said, it's a forest. Let me go and find out if there's a pond. You sit down in shade of a tree. I will fetch water from the pond. And he went to fetch the water from the pond. He came to the pond and started taking the water into his little jar which he was holding in his hand. And in the same forest, there was a king. And he was hunting. He was hunting for deer. And deer, on a hot day, come to the lake to drink water. So King was just near the lake and was listening to the sound of water. He was such a good shooter that even though he could see nothing in front of him because everything was covered by tree. Just by listening to the sound, he can shoot an arrow right in the direction of sound and the deer would be killed. And this is just what he did. Because of all the trees and all the surroundings, he just couldn't see what he's shooting at. He just listened to the sound and thinking that it must be a deer, he shoot the arrow. Oh my God, he shot an arrow. Where did the arrow landed? The arrow landed on the chest of Shravan Kumar. The arrow went to Shravan Kumar. King was still thinking that it's a deer. The arrow went right through the chest of Shravan Kumar and he shouted, "Ah, ah." King Dashrath heard the human voice. He said, "Oh my God, what have I done? Have I shooted a human? I thought it must be a deer." And he started to run towards the noise. And when he came over there, what did he see? He saw Shravan Kumar with a bow in his chest and he was very upset. He said, "Sorry, sorry, sorry." He started to pull the bow out of his chest and then he said, "Whatever you need, I'll bring. I'll quickly go and get the medicine." But Shravan Kumar said, "No, I know this bow is poisonous and I'm not going to live for long. You go to my parents, they are really thirsty. Give them water and tell them what happened. I'm sure they will forgive you, but please take care of my parents. My last wish, that you don't leave my parents. Now you are the son to them." He said, "Yes, I will do that, Shravan Kumar." He took the jar, went to the parents, and he was very sorry. His parents realized that the person who has got the water is not their son. They asked him, "Who are you?" He said, "I am King Dashrath." And then he went on to tell what happened to Shravan Kumar. They were really upset. They started to cry, 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 cry. Even King Dashrath was crying when he was telling the story of what happened. He apologized. He said, "I'm really, really sorry. I never knew that it was a human being. Otherwise, I wouldn't have shot it." But his parents were so angry and his parents were crying so much that they didn't listen to King Dashrath. And they had so much pain in their heart that they thought they are going to die. But before they died, they said to King Dashrath that we are longing for our son. In future, you will have to long for your son. You made our son dead and that's why we are in pain. Your son is going to leave you and you will be in the pain. Only then you will understand how painful it is to lose a son. And whilst they were saying that, they just died. King Dashrath was so upset. He said, "Oh my God, my little mistake, and I have to bear everything what he has to say." They passed away and king went to his castle, very sad. Later he had King Ram as his son and he had to send him to exile because of certain reasons. But we know whatever we have done in the past will give us result in future. That's why moral of this story is, whatever you do in the past, don't do bad things. Because if you do bad deeds, you are going to have the bad future. If you study hard today, you are going to be a good professional tomorrow. And if you waste your time now, there will be nothing which you can do in the future. That's the first moral of the story. Second moral of the story is you should never take decisions when you are angry. King Dashrath was very sorry for what he did. But did Shravan Kumar's parents really understood him? No, because they were really angry. If we are angry, we take wrong decisions. So even if you are angry, just try to stay quiet for some time. Don't take any decision, and later you'll realize that you did a good thing by not taking the decision. And third and most important thing is, be loyal and be obedient to your parents. They take care of you, and you must take care of them whenever possible. So I hope this story has given you many things to take home. And have a very good day or a very good evening, whatever time you're listening to my story. I'll see you soon. Namaste.